Okay.
All right, this is the Local Works meeting, June 11th, 2013. Calling the meeting to order here. Everybody's here missing Jamie and Kathy. And here's Jamie.
This meeting is being recorded
As always.
for quality purposes.
So, how about the agenda? Anyone care to adopt it?
I would like to make a motion to add to the agenda a discussion about committee membership.
Okay.
Where are we adding them?
Well, that'll be new business, right?
Probably new business, yeah. Anyone second it?
I'll second it.
Okay. Anyone opposed? Okay.
Okay. Would anyone care to adopt the meeting minutes from May 28th?
Oh, we do have to adopt the agenda now.
Okay.
I move to adopt the agenda.
I thought we did.
No, we agreed to add to the agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Anyone opposed? Okay.
Okay. Anyone like to adopt the meeting minutes from last time?
I was not here, so I will abstain.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. How about any comments? No comments?
No public present.
Oh, I will thank Kathy Lynch for taking notes for me. Wait, I wasn't here either then, was I?
No.
So I can't move to accept them.
I thought I moved to accept.
You didn't move to accept them.
But I think you seconded.
Oh, I seconded them. Well, I read them.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
You retyped them.
I did retire.
Okay. So let's move on to the old business.
Yep.
How about the surveys? Did anyone enter the final ones? I checked last night, looked like we only had 496 in.
This is kind of why
I
we
haven't
meet here.
heard back from Kathy as to whether or not she got all the rest of them in or what. So I don't know where that is.
But we did receive, if they're not done, I will take some and
Yeah,
finish them up.
Well, Kathy has them.
I know. So, one of us should be Kathy.
So you said that right now there's 496.
96.
Yeah, and that hasn't, the last, I entered in 8 or so that had straggled in last week, so that hasn't gone up. But I don't think
There will
Kathy's
be
got.
504.
So she might be holding
I think
some.
there might be another dozen or so that
Okay.
Kathy has. No, where I brought up to 496.
Those 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that they would then bring that to 504.
No, okay.
No.
You're estimating, how many do you think are left?
I don't know what Kathy has.
Okay.
There are none that I have. Everyone else here, I think, entered them and then gave them back to me. So the Kathy's the only ones that I haven't
Yeah.
received back. Do you know if she's...
I'll call her, I have a note here, call Kathy.
I still have contact information to input that I have not done, like return addresses, that kind of thing.
Okay.
In the Google
Well,
spreadsheet.
Do you have access to it?
I don't. Could you send me the? Thank you.
So what you're saying, you've got the info inputted, but not the other end of it.
I took the return addresses and just put them on another document.
I'm going to say that when you gave me the envelopes back, I checked, and I think I entered a bunch of them. So you may want to check
I will.
that you're not double entering them, because I may have already beat you to it.
Okay.
So, as far as analyzing these results, Josh, you weren't here, but we did have a lot of good discussion about that last time. Jessica, the idea of presenting and having maybe a joint meeting with the ECA, the chamber, and open it to the public, and we come up with some sort of presentation. Seemed a great idea.
Yeah, basically that the local works committee would do, we ran an event last year, another event where the committee sort of goes over what the results of the survey were and sort of solicits help on getting, from the survey that the committee should be able to focus down and say, here's a list of things that the committee thinks is important to work on in Easthampton and what the committee would like to work on, and then sort of opening it up to the public to say, what does the public think the committee should be working on if the committee wants that type of input, and whether or not there are people from the public who want to then help the committee in getting these projects done, whatever it is that the committee thinks we should be working on.
So these would be individual meet and greets with specific committees
Or one like a
with-
public forum.
To be decided.
Okay,
It could go either
Could be
way
both.
or both.
okay.
But the idea of a public forum sort of presentation was that, I think what Jessica was saying.
Yeah, that the information should be provided, and we have partners that we work with who we could either give presentations to all at once or individually, but that this data that the committee's collected really only has value when it gets used.
Shared.
Yeah, well,
Shared.
analyze and then share it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And we also kind of talked about making a report, like a written report, right?
I think along those same lines, it was like developing a PowerPoint presentation, some kind of presentation that
Right.
shows it, that then could be just PDF'd.
Right.
And
Put on the
that
website.
would become the report,
Yeah.
that it wouldn't be maybe something that's additional to it,
Right.
but that's sort of,
Something,
there's something that's graphically to be displayed and presented at the
Mhm.
meeting, but also could be left on the city website to help influence and provide, and then maybe the broad data will also be provided there as well.
what if we could kind of use Google Docs to collaboratively come up with something like that? Unless somebody wants to spearhead getting started or kind of writing.
I'll spearhead the presentation once the results are in.
To craft a presentation.
That we could show to the citizens.
Okay. How about if you get it started, then to put it in a Google Doc format where the rest of us can also add and, contribute to the...
It'll be PowerPoint, so everyone can look at it. I'm not sure we want to have everyone doing PowerPoint edits.
I think it gets really, I've seen in the past where we've done this, I think it gets unwieldy, especially with a document that might be heavily graphic or graphs and things
I
like
think
that.
people can provide input
Yeah.
and suggestions and requests and things like that.
That's easy to do.
Yeah.
Just figured it would be nice if everybody has some input as to what the presentation consists of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But have one person be the actual creator of it. It doesn't have to be me. As Jamie said, it gets unwieldy if we have
Right.
8 different versions out there.
That's true.
Or one version that's been chopped and
Does
cut.
everybody have PowerPoint? If Josh sent it to us, we can still give you our input, but not edit it.
Or you could also send it out as a PDF. Everyone can get
Okay.
the free PDF reader, and then you
Yeah.
can't directly comment on it, but you can write an email that says,
Yeah.
here are my comments.
Yeah,
I just think-
whatever's easiest.
I think given the way that we created the survey, we're quite detailed and with going over it and everybody contributing, it makes sense that everybody's going to have something that they, want to contribute to the sharing of it would probably be good.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I do think that we need to analyze it first before
Yeah, we'll get the cart before the horse here.
maybe making an outline today for how we want to go forward and setting some goals and dates for when we want to do these types of activities might help us get some momentum behind
Okay.
getting everything else done before that.
Okay.
So,
The most important thing is getting all the entry done,
Yeah,
all the results.
that was supposed to have already happened.
Yeah.
Well, it may be done.
It may be done. But you said 496 was this?
I can't speak for Kathy. I know all mine are done. We go around the table, everyone else here says that, so.
But I do know that Kathy took a big chunk.
I know.
Maybe I can email her.
Yeah.
Is she here today?
No, but she's on email a lot.
The ECAT 5 is on, she's not always the one who's monitoring the ECAT 5.
Okay.
You know the rest.
Yeah, too much.
Okay.
So how do we do that then, Jamie? For outline or?
Well, I mean,
I don't want to get the cart before the horse, I think. Let's see what the results are first.
okay.
And
I
then-
would say that if we're gonna do a presentation, like a large thing for the, open to the public, you know, we're almost in this summer now, so a lot of people travel. So we're probably looking at maybe September
I think September.
before we'd want to have like a big local works event.
Yeah.
So,
Are we going to present individually to sponsors during the summer?
I think that's a good idea, actually, before we present to the
We could
public.
practice.
That's right.
I mean, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
At the very least, we should, you know, do some information sharing with the ECA.
ECA
and
and the chamber.
and the
I thought
chamber.
we already gave the ECA the results.
The results aren't in yet.
I gave Burns the ability to look at both things. She's completing a grant, and she
Right.
wanted a very few specific details, and she promised me that she would not publicize it in front of us, that she was just looking to do the grant. So the ECA committee does not have it.
Because it's not finished yet.
Right.
So she saw it for her purposes. She needed to see it.
Yeah, and actually, I think
It was
the grant
specifically
went in.
for grant.
Right.
And I think the grant went in last week, and
Right.
I don't know that she actually
You can use it.
even used it, so.
Okay. Well, hopefully it was helpful.
So, I mean, that's one thing we could put down on the schedule hypothetically. We meet the fourth Thursday of every month, so there's only,
Hmm.
you know, 3 left before September. We could pick one.
But we still would need to determine what it is we're presenting to these groups, our partners.
Right, but if we pick a date and say we're gonna shoot for this date, we can ask to be on their agenda, we can start communicating with them, and they can, you know, make room for us.
Maybe the EDIC should come first.
Definitely should, and we should definitely present to the EDIC.
Well, let's say the next EDIC meeting, we can present to them.
What will we present? Just here's
Here's what the results are, and this is what, we will have another meeting before the next EDIC, other than the
The
one
next
that's after this
EDIC
one.
meeting is today,
No, I said other than that one, beyond that one.
and then it's July, the third week in July.
Yeah, so we'll have 2 more local works meetings, so by then, we should be able to have.
That's good.
I mean, our input has to be done by the next
And it
time.
doesn't have to be fine-tuned either.
Right.
I think
Yeah,
we could tell them that we're getting this ready for a big presentation in
Right.
September.
So you guys want to do the EDIC first?
yeah. And then how about if we let
Say July.
you set us up with a time for the ECA Plus, and you, Eric, set
Well,
us
our
up with a time.
board meetings are the second Wednesday of the month. I really think
Does this?
second week in July probably wouldn't fly.
I think too soon.
Don't you think? I mean,
Probably. Second week in August, then maybe?
So EDIC was 7,
Trying to get that down.
So EDIC is the second,
3rd, and 7th.
It's going to be
Well, it's supposed to be the third, correct?
July 16th is what's on the schedule right now.
I think we'll be ready by July 16th for the EDIC.
And ECA could be,
If they're the fourth Thursday, then that's the 25th.
okay, we could do the 25th.
Unless that
July
doesn't...
23rd,
25th.
25th for ECA Plus, okay.
When do they meet? What time?
5:30 to 7:30, we could be on the agenda for 5:30 and, you know, maybe take 15,
And then-
20 minutes. Yes.
The chamber in August?
Well, that would be, pardon me. That would be the 14th, but I'm going to be on, I'm personally going to be on vacation that week.
have to be there? You trust us?
Implicitly. I'll just let Pat know.
But it seems like the original idea with Jessica was we would have one meeting and present to all the partners. It seems like a lot of different things to do, all these different meetings.
Yes.
You're right.
I think we should just do one, like really get our presentation and have the PowerPoint show the result, rather than us going to each of these groups and then we're going to give them the results and then it's out of our hands. That, you know, we kind of lose the momentum of what we just put all this work into.
I don't think we'd lose momentum, and I think it'd be hard. The schedules are so different. I mean, the ECA chambers.
That's why it's our event, and we don't have to go to, we were saying, you're our partners, we're having this event on, you know, whatever it is, September 10th, and you have to come, send at least some representative, and then once we release that document to the public, then they can bring it to their own committee meetings. If they want to invite one of us to go, that's fine, but it's our work. I'm sure they would want to compass it.
I misunderstood. I thought we wanted to do something to our partners before.
This event with the Jessica said is for the partners to come and it's our.
Well, I
thought that was
Just
before we
different
went to the
ideas.
public.
Yeah.
There's nothing's been set in stone.
Right.
Right.
Jessica made a suggestion. The committee is under no obligations to do anything with this
Right.
data. I mean, we could
Chaos
just,
City Council was on the suggestion
Right.
too.
you know, there are a lot of boards and committees and groups, outside organizations that would be interested in this data. You know, we don't have to present to all of them. We don't have to present to any of them.
Should we focus on our partners?
I think we should. I mean, I think.
Aren't they like
it'd be
waiting to
polite.
see what we've done? And
I think it'd be disrespectful not to pay attention to our partners.
That's what
Especially the
if you just
chamber.
do it once and say, our partners, we're holding this event for our partners to come together, then all our various partners can come and it's,
We could do
You know, it's-
you're right, we could do an event for our partners, and then we could do a separate
There's
event.
too many little events and different, you know, we lose the directiveness of what's really happening to have all these different little presentations.
Except that we also, you know, just as an aside, you know, when we present to the ECA Plus, maybe they're not interested in data that the Chamber of Commerce is interested in. You know, and so the presentation that goes to the ECA Plus is more focused on the things that the ECA members are concerned with, and then you know, the EDIC is more concerned with something else in the Chamber, and so that we can sort of tailor the information a little bit just to get people's interest
Right.
and start getting the word out. It's up to the committee how the committee wants to do it. It's obviously more work to do that.
Right, but I would think if it's our partners, they're, maybe I'm wrong, Denise, you can answer for maybe ECA Plaza, in the total package, shall we say.
Yeah.
I think it's all related.
It is, but
I think it makes sense to have a nice focused presentation first, where we really share the results, and then say, we'd like to have follow-up meetings with you and our partners, in the, you know, going forwards, rather than doing a series of less organized. Like, let's get that presentation all set so that we can do the meeting and any other meetings.
So Matt, are you saying one for the partners and then one for the public, or one big?
Well, we can invite the public to the one with the partners, but it'd be for our partners.
I disagree with that. I think we need to give something just for partners, because the public could potentially have a lot more input, and the partners would have less of an importance. I think we have to have one for partners,
One for partners.
and then one for public.
Okay.
So the only thing that where I go back to what we were originally saying is going to their meetings. See, this way, we're not going to necessarily, when we make this presentation of what we have, it's not going to be a really huge, I mean, it's not going to be, what I'm trying to say is we have a captive audience when they're already going to be meeting. And we could just go kind of and take a portion of that time to present to them. And I'm thinking if we say, okay, if you want to see what we're going to do, you have to come see us at this time. And that's your shot.
Well, it's not that's their own shot, but I think, you know, these other groups have other things on their agenda, and it kind of lessens our ability to really do much in a few minutes, and then they're on to the next thing, whereas
we can
we
ask.
put a lot of work into this, and if it's just
We
you
can
know,
ask for as much time as we want.
But
If
We wouldn't
think it
present it
is-
that way. We wouldn't make it
we
seem
can't control what their agenda is. They might just say, okay, you get 5 minutes at the end, or whatever
Well,
it
we wouldn't
is.
say no.
You can ask for,
wouldn't
you know,
do that.
we'd like to give a half-hour presentation to your group on this in your August meeting. Can you make room for us?
And do either you, Denise, or Eric think that was unreasonable, that we would not be able to take a half an hour, or really show something that's organized and presented and not half-cocked?
I'd rather 20 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Because we've got, I would say 20 minutes to a half hour or something, you know.
Well, a 20-minute presentation is enough to get a
That's
lot
a
of
lot.
substance to...
I think so.
Right, but that's why we can do it with everybody. Then we have an hour, we get some refreshments, and we sit down bring our partners together rather than fragmented.
There's benefits to both, you're right.
Yeah.
I think one other thing that I liked about your idea about going to separate meetings is that they get to meet as many of us, local works, where, you know, for the most part, people really don't know who
And
and
this is
what we
something that they've
are.
already planned to attend. I mean, board members of the Chamber and of the ECA Plus are planning on being, most likely planning on being at their next meeting. So, other than us trying to have ours at a time when, because your meetings are during the day, and your meetings are in the evening, right? So, see, right there, if we have it during the day, we're less likely to.
Yeah, we would probably want to have this in the evening, so.
There will be less likely to have chamber people there. That's because I just said they meet during the
But
day.
this isn't a chamber meeting. This would be a local works hosted partners presentation. They would come on a weekday evening at 7 o'clock. They're going to come out.
Okay. Anyone else want to weigh in? I think,
I see the benefits to both,
okay.
but the captive audience may be the best way. Because you're right, they're already on the agenda, and finding time, I know we're trying to find time to get ladies together and
Yeah.
at night, and it's impossible. And there's only 6 of us. So, you know, big committee members.
Well, do you want to have us take a vote?
What do we have to decide right now? Is that it?
No.
I guess not. No, it's true.
Or do we want to postpone it any longer?
I think it helps to have an idea of where we're going, whether or not we're doing this as one large event, 2 smaller events, or a bunch of smaller events. And it's really up to the committee, how the committee wants to do it. We don't have to decide today, we can put it on the agenda for the next time to make the decision the next time.
How many small presentations would we be making? EDIC, ECA Plus, the Chamber,
City
anybody
Council,
else?
City Council.
City Council.
City Council, okay.
And,
ECAP's a partner. I mean,
well,
They're not the same kind of partner as ECA Plus and Chamber, though.
No. The city council brings up a whole nother,
I mean, I think if we're going to invite the City Council, we have our own event, we serve refreshments, it's a local works event that all of the boards and committees and councilors and everyone's invited to, and it's a large thing.
That could be part of the city one. That could be part of the public one.
That would be, yes.
So
Okay,
why
so
not just do that? If we're going to do that anyways, just do that larger event and then say there, we would like to also meet with the individual groups if you'd like to invite us to one of your meetings.
Yeah, but I think that should come first. You're right, but that should come first. So it's really just 3. And the ECA Plus, Chamber, and EDIC.
And then a larger one.
Well, that's the public one. That's the
So
separate
it's 4.
one.
Right.
Yeah. But of the partners one, they would just be 3.
Yeah. And I think that makes a lot of sense. It gets the information to the people who need it, who want it, and it gives the public an opportunity to weigh in as well and to get this information.
How about if I make a motion and we vote on it?
What are we voting on?
I make a motion that we have 3 partner meetings, 3 partner presentations at their next meetings, at their meetings. So EDIC would be July 16th, ECA Plus would be the 25th, and the Chamber would be August 14th. And then we have one for the public that would include the city council.
So how do we know that those are even good? They might already have other things on their agenda.
Let's not pick the dates for
Okay,
the
not
partner
the dates, those
meetings.
are just-
I think we should just get our presentation. We're putting the cart before the horse by trying to set up all these things. We don't even have the presentation. Let's make the presentation.
Motion on the floor.
Yeah, okay, so forget the dates part of the motion. The motion is that we have 3 presentations to partners and then a general meeting for the public and the city council.
And do that first before we have the meeting. Rather than have, so we're gonna lose the momentum. So the partners aren't gonna want to come out to some other meeting if we've already had
They won't need to.
all these, so
They won't need to. The second one is for the public.
I think we should review what Jessica Allen said, and she had a really good vision of it, and versus, this is really different.
I thought this is what she was suggesting.
There's a motion.
Yeah, there's a motion on the floor, okay, so everyone can vote against it. Or if no one can second it. If no one wants to second it, I'll just drop the motion.
Can we go over, Jessica, I'm sorry, since I was not here last meeting, can we go over that proposal again?
I think we should, I mean,
Okay,
before we go on, so-
dropping the motion for now, let's review what Jessica said. The minutes, I don't have them on this computer, but they weren't very,
We need to review the tape, because I don't think either of you were at the meeting. Did you see the tape of what she said?
no. I'm just going
She
by
had a lot of detail. She had a very kind of nice way of looking at it, and several different things she said, and I think we should review that.
Well, this is what the minutes say, whether it's not exact. It says, "It's suggested that we host a meeting/event to present the survey results, inviting other groups, in parentheses, i.e. City Council, ECA Plus, Chamber, Press, etc., and parentheses. Local Works will make a presentation of the survey data and possibly hold a discussion with the community/participant at the meeting, at the meeting to determine next steps for the committee, i.e. top 2 or 3 items Local Works will address in the coming year as a result of the survey. Presentation would be published online with the survey data as a separate download." So that doesn't exactly...
And that was basically that was the gist of what I remember. So, and again, it wasn't that, it was up to the committee to decide whether it was one event or multiple events. So,
The only thing, and granted, I'm acknowledging that I wasn't here, and I didn't listen to what Jessica said, and I haven't watched the tape. The only main point that I was using in going, my suggestion, was that we're paying respect to our partners, and not asking them to bend for our schedule. That we would take the energy and the time to go present to them.
okay.
Should we send them an email and ask them if we could do that at their next
We
meeting?
can still do
Well, we
that.
have representatives of them here.
If we have get our presentation and our analysis formulated in PDF or whatever format, and then we have this event and say, we would like to come and meet with you, go over this more and get your input on a more direct basis. That's more, it seems a little bit more focused.
So after it's already out and back and in the public eye, then we go to them, you say.
That we meet with them with our partners in a meeting.
After it's in the public eye already.
All together or separately? A different time?
So you don't like the idea that the public...
No, I was just asking for clarification. I didn't understand if you're saying do this after it's already in the public eye, or doing it, or giving them the heads up first. Which is it?
I don't know.
Well, maybe we don't need to decide it right now. I do agree.
I see what you're trying to say. Basically, it seems like you're saying you'd rather meet with the partners first because it would somehow we're not paying respect to them if the public knows this stuff first.
That's basically it, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what do you guys, I mean, I don't want this just be between Matt and me. Does anyone else feel it's important to do one or the other?
Personally, I think the partner should know prior
Prior,
to a public.
That was one of the things. If we just
And
say that
maybe, who
everyone,
knows, as a result of the partners meetings, it could have an effect of how we talk, how we do the presentation, not changing or anything like that, but suggestions as to what the presentation may be in the public forum.
What about a private meeting with just the partners? So that we have all the partners and the discussion, so that, because I also think unless all of us go to these meetings and with these partners, we're not really gonna know as a group. If this is about creating the local works next steps, then we all should know what's going on and have a conversation and discussion with the partners, rather than a representative going, they can download the presentation. For that matter, we can make the presentation and just give it to them
I think,
and let them review it before our meeting with them. But it seems like if this is about building our future trajectory, it would be helpful for all there with the partners.
sure, but I don't think that was the question. I don't think we were trying to figure out whether or not we're all going, or just one person is presenting, or whether or not,
Well, presumably if you're having 3 or 4 different little meetings with the partners, you're not going to get everybody from local works to go.
okay, so your point.
but we didn't, when I went and talked to the chamber, I was the only one there. And and local works, and then the committee entrusted me to come back with the results. I mean, I've said it too many times, I won't keep repeating it, but I do think we should.
Time that you don't.
No, it's nothing. I just think why don't we just create this analysis, the report, and to give that to each of the committees, let them review it and say, we'd like to invite the partners to a meeting so that we can discuss the results with the partners as a group, so that we all know, so we have a chance to get feedback about the future of local works in a discussion format with these partners.
So 2 separate meetings.
One meeting, they can.
But then we have one with the public. But then we have.
Yeah.
Or do you just have one big meeting? Sorry to take it back, but I mean, it seems to me that, if we don't want some people to know in front of other people, and we don't want other people to know in front of some people, no matter who we do it, we're going to be playing favorites with, well, if the ECA goes first, or the chamber goes
Oh,
first, or
that,
the
I think
ESC.
is that.
No, I don't-
think that
So then-
aspect is important. I think it's just the idea of
The partners know.
the
Yeah,
partner.
because their partners, they deserve to be able to give us input before it's made public. And they don't have to, they don't have to be separate. We can have one meeting for ECA Plus, the chamber, and the
I mean,
EDIC.
we could,
But we should solicit their opinion, since they are partners.
But their
We should
opinion
solicit
before-
their opinion before it goes public.
what are
That's
we
all I'm
solicit
saying.
their opinions on? What the local works committee should be doing in the next year?
No, what they think of our results, and what they think of our presentation.
What about
That we
giving
have
them
highlighted.
a presentation via email so that
I
they
think you
can
should
review
present the
it?
presentation before you're asking people to comment on it.
Exactly.
You don't want to just publish it and then,
But what does that mean? Presenting the presentation could be them reading it, the results in our analysis as a report, as an article. That's there, so they can absorb, whether one of us is there kind of pointing it out to them on slides, or they review it. And then we have an event, a meeting.
I'd like to hope that the presentation we do is more than just reading a report on a slideshow.
Right. But wouldn't that be when we have the partners together, so we can go in more depth and have a discussion and see where the conversation goes?
Yeah.
So,
I agree. But the only difference is having all the partners together at one time. That's asking them to bend to our schedule.
I don't think it's that much to ask, honestly.
Okay.
We have a night meeting and we provide some food.
Okay.
And we say some snacks or some sort of whatever, and say, we make the invitation to the chamber, we make the invitation to these. I know members of the ECA Plus committee, they'll make time for us to hear these results. It's important.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that the chamber members, there are going to be chamber members that want to come that aren't on the board. If someone's thinking about opening a new business, maybe they want to hear our presentation before they...
I got it. Here is the amended proposal, the amended motion. Step 1, all the stuff gets put in. Step 2, we do the analysis. Step 3, we make a presentation. Step 4, we invite the partners, EDIC, ECA Plus, and the Chamber, to a meeting just between Local Works and their partners. Present them, get their feedback, their input. Step 5, we have that same meeting with the public. Does anyone second it?
And the partners.
I think that sounds good. But can you say it again? Because it sounded like you threw an extra meeting in there somewhere.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Step 1 is that we finish the input.
Finish the input.
Step 2 is that we do the analysis. Step 3 is we
Create the presentation.
create the presentation. Step 4 is we have a meeting with our partners
Right.
and get their input. Step 5, we have the general public meeting. And the partners are welcome to come to that too. Anyone's welcome to come to that.
So
My kid's babysitter from Rockville, Maryland is welcome to come to that.
They would be interested in the public's,
Yes,
I would think.
I would think so too.
So can we say
I think that's good.
that motion's on the floor?
It is on the floor, I made it, and it's been seconded.
Yeah.
In theory.
Anyone opposed?
Okay.
Okay, I'll go back and look at the tape and actually type it in.
Sure your preference are 35 minutes in.
Sorry this took so long, guys.
It's good to resolve it.
Do you want it?
You got it? Thank you. Well, I'll remember it. Do you need this, though? I'll remember it. I just don't want to take the time now for away from the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Okay, so
We have our plan of action. Now, I suppose we have to
put a little
build a time schedule and work it.
It may be tough to put a time schedule now until we really are sure that the data... No. Okay.
My suggestion, whether or not it carries any weight or not, would be August to meet with the partners, pick a date in August that works for the partners, and then pick a date in September that works for the public.
Okay. Can I make one little caveat to that, though? That we get the word out that we're doing it. A lot of people are concerned that the ball's not still rolling, the ball's not still rolling.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we should,
Well,
if we can still put a little blurb in the summit, just saying results are in, we're analyzing them, and we'll have something for you in the fall.
I think that's a good thing for the Facebook page.
A Facebook page too, and an email, or you can bring it back to ECA Plus, and you can bring it to the chamber.
I don't know that we need to put it in the summit.
Okay, that's fine.
That seems a little...
That's fine. But I think we should get word out that we're working on it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people may not have access to the web. We don't want to discriminate.
Our partners are the people who I think we should be concerned about, not the people who...
We did have 1 or 2 people from the public complaining about that we hadn't shared the results
We had
yet.
one, or they're just asking.
Yeah. I mean, we're not beholden to them. I think
Right.
it's our partners that, if they're concerned that we're going too slow, I think the partners should be informed what our new schedule is and our plan, and that we're going to have a partner meeting in August, and we're going to have a larger public meeting in September, and the public meeting in September we'll do press releases, and we'll try to get some good press publicity about it. And that we'll really spend some time in August and September making sure that that meeting is well publicized and well attended. With enough information, we'll be on how much time do we need to get things onto the chamber's newsletter? We'll work all that stuff out.
Can I ask that we move on, because I really want to make sure we have time to talk about our last...
You volunteered to start the analysis, right, Josh? You're going to work on it?
I'm volunteering the presentation.
Presentation?
Yeah.
Isn't that part of the analysis?
No.
Isn't the analysis part of the
No.
presentation?
I'd like you to put on the
That was
analysis.
the analysis was step 2 for presentation
Yeah.
was step
So who's doing that? We gotta do
Well, I
that.
think we could do the analysis as a
The
group.
analysis, isn't the analysis part of the presentation?
Yes, it goes into the presentation, but I want input from the group as to what.
So
all
we
these
need to
things-
all kind of figure out, analyze it independently and share our ideas somehow.
Not necessarily independently, once we have the results, we'll share them with everyone, and
How,
then the next meeting.
how is it being compiled?
It's
Well,
a part of.
it's in SurveyMonkey, it's a report. We can export it all into a spreadsheet or print it as a PDF. And, as far as
So has
analyzing,
anyone taken a look at it yet?
Well, it's not finished yet.
I don't have any, where are the results?
They're on
On
SurveyMonkey.
SurveyMonkey.
So,
not everybody has the, we need
okay,
to
can you
either export it all
forward the login to SurveyMonkey to everyone in the committee?
For the results.
Well,
the results.
And if
okay.
you don't know what you're doing,
Actually, let's not do that. No, let's not do that.
I don't realize any of that stuff has been,
It's in there, we had, nobody's,
It happens automatically.
why don't we export the results and print everything and we distribute them in the list?
Yeah,
well, it just, when you're using the SurveyMonkey tool, you have the option to look at things in relationship to other things. When you just export it, it's static. So we can export a list of every question with like the, what are the most popular roads that are traveled on? What are the average commute, all these
Right.
things.
Okay.
But they're each question becomes static. What we need to look at is really to figure out, okay, if people are saying they're spending, I don't know, $25 to $70 on
right.
each art walk, then, but what is it that they're buying? Is it food? Is it art? Is it postcards or books? That's not gonna be clear just from each question's results.
So we'll do that.
So we gotta
But
look and try to figure out what are the connections between the questions that we want to look at. And if everyone can start to think about
All right,
that.
well, we need to get
Then we
everybody
can-
logged into it then.
Well, no, you
That's
can
fine.
you can
That's
do
no
that
problem.
also just by looking at the survey.
Yeah,
You
let's do that.
You can just look at the blank survey and
Okay.
say, okay, I think it'd be interesting to know
Yeah, okay.
gender and who's going shopping or
Okay.
Right, okay.
number of children in the home and,
All right, so homework is to analyze or come up with, I don't know, two analyses?
yeah, and I don't think we have to do them. Just to brainstorm them, to get ideas of what it is that we're trying to
Right.
to
And
show
let's
and to understand.
do that
And
once we have
then
results.
once we have those ideas of what the analyses are that we want to run, we can then figure out who's going to actually do those analyses, whether or not we can divide them up at that point.
So that could be our next meeting then.
Okay, so Matt, will send them a link?
Yeah, we'll do that. And as soon as Kathy I sent her an email, she didn't respond, I'll call her and see if we can. Now, did everyone look at those website suggestions that Kathy emailed? I don't know how if we determined which one to go with, it seemed like I heard 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
So we need to kind of deal with that, but I think that's kind of priority 2,
Yeah.
at this point.
Can I make a suggestion
Sure.
that we, A, since Kathy's not here.
Right.
And B, since we have something really pressing that we need to talk about.
All
Can
right.
I
Move ahead.
table this until?
Table that.
Yeah.
And that, item C is kind of wrapped into what happens with the analysis. So I think our main thrust right now is getting this survey thing done.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just keep carrying the C to
Yeah.
the next agenda.
Okay. Now we move on to 6, new business. Josh had added the committee membership discussion. We haven't no one's been able to reach Mark Chape, and several attempts left voicemail, email, called him again, so we're not really sure if he's not interested or if there's some other issue that's preventing him from participating or what his intention is.
I asked Jamie to look in the bylaws to see what, if there were guidelines if someone doesn't show for meeting. And it's 3 meetings. And Mark's last attendance meeting was April 9th. I think in light of, A, the fact that he's not been here for 3 meetings, and B, since our attempts to reach him have been unsuccessful, I say we relinquish the membership. I'm sorry to say, I don't like doing this, but I think if we have a slot, we need to have it be with someone who's going to be able to.
Out of curiosity, is it 3 consecutive meetings or just 3 meetings?
I'm pulling it up now.
But it has been consecutive.
Well, I realize that.
It's a few, the wording is a few different things, and it's from the city's charter. So,
The one he's looking at,
For a group that meets twice a month, 24 times a year, missing 3 meetings isn't that outrageous.
no, if it were only that he missed 3 meetings, that would be one thing, but he's missed more than 3. He's missed 3 consecutively. And also, most importantly, he hasn't been in touch with us.
Do we have people waiting to
Well,
jump on board?
not necessarily, but it does affect our ability for a quorum. And I think there is some who's expressed interest through email based on the survey. So,
so from the city charter, if any person appointed to serve as a member of a committee shall fail to attend 3 or more consecutive meetings, or all of the meetings held during 4 calendar months, or 1/2 or more of all the meetings of such body held in 1 calendar year, the remaining members of the multiple member body may, by majority vote, declare the office to be vacant, provided, however, that not less than 10 days prior to the date the said vote is scheduled to be taken, the body has given in hand or mailed, postage paid, certified mail, return receipt requested, notice of the pending vote to the person.
So we have to notify him.
So if the committee wants to take this route, then we need to notify Mark by mail that he's being,
At least 10 days before our...
so basically sometime this week, and then the vote could be held at the next meeting.
okay.
That would be the,
We should come up with the text of the letter? Or you just...
I think that can be done administratively,
Okay.
but I think the committee should maybe vote on whether or not they want to explore this route.
Yes, okay. I make a motion, since I brought it up, I make a motion, we take the steps outlined by the city charter to ask Mark to relinquish his seat. Second, okay. Any opposed? Can you do the letter? Or if I write the letter, can you send it out?
Yeah, I will do the mailing and stuff like that, and I'll work with you to get the
Okay.
letter.
Okay. Yeah, and, for the record, I don't like doing this. I really don't. And I have nothing, Mark he showed some real enthusiasm, and I was very excited to have him on. And I don't like doing this, so it is with a heavy heart that I take this step. But it's for the group, for the good of the group.
I think sending him this letter, as outlined in the thing, gives him a chance to make a decision whether or not he wants to.
So it still gives him an opportunity to say, I'm sorry, and I still really want to, but I had something happen,
Right.
and we can consider that.
Yeah, if he has some extenuating circumstances that show.
If there's still an interest, but it would seem like it's taking us more time
Right.
than he's put in at this point.
Most importantly, do we have a snail mail address for him?
Yes, somewhere when you become somewhere we have that. I'm pretty sure that the official records that
Okay.
Barbara has will,
Okay.
I guess that's one reason to keep good records.
You think?
Okay, so that's all set then?
Yep.
The next meeting is on Tuesday, the 25th, is that right? That's two weeks from
Yeah,
today?
Tuesday the 25th, yeah. Oh, I have to tell the EDIC meeting is in 10 minutes, in 9 minutes.
Okay, the 25th.
25th, yeah.
Can I give you an
Okay.
idea real quick before we adjourn? If there's anything else. ECA was talking about the survey results and how to use them. Just brainstorming about it, and part of our next MCC, Massachusetts Cultural Council grant application is asking for money for pop-up shops.
What shops?
Pop-up, which is basically utilizing empty storefronts with, so it would be a partnership between the person that went in there and the landlord or the owner. They're not permanent, they're temporary, but they use up empty storefronts and create more buzz and traffic and all that kind of stuff. So we thought maybe the information that comes from the survey results could be married with certain pop-up shops.
Give people ideas for what
Right.
might be successful.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's one way that we could use the information. I don't know if it's EDIC, maybe it's EDIC that has to do this, but we could actually, find people that sell socks or
Yeah.
make socks that,
Yeah.
and then find a landlord or an owner that would want
That's
to
a
open
great
up
idea.
their storefront for a month or for 2 months. or whatever.
That's a wonderful.
Because I don't want to get this discussion, take a tour. Well, is there a zoning problem with that? Any of that would happen, do you think?
Jessica's looking into that.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, from my understanding, if the use is allowed, it's allowed. As long as the building's up to code, it should be just a very simple inspection that it can be occupied, and that's usually done by the building inspector.
Oh, good.
It would be harder with things that are pop-up shops that are,
Like food
related or
or,
something.
things that are gonna,
We're still finishing it up. You can come in.
food or a number of other things.
Right.
Has a small problem with them.
Local works meeting, you're just,
Oh, well, I'm listening. Oh, no, then I'll leave. All right, get out of your
Is there-
chair.
Right, well, I think
No,
that's it, unless there's anything else.
I would just like to
Go ahead.
reiterate that, what everyone wants to do, or what we want everyone to do with the
Yes, yes.
the surveys, and if there's any questions, that we have a few more minutes to talk about
so who
that.
wants to look at the blank survey?
Or,
So what can be interrelated?
yeah, I mean, either you can look at the blank survey, or you can start to look at the results, but that basically it's a thought exercise of how the survey
Yeah.
goes together, and creating a list of, like, we should definitely have this information in our analysis. Like, we definitely want to know all of these things, and maybe you come up with 3 things, maybe you come up with 10 things, but then if at the next meeting we can all come together, we're going to see overlap with these things. Definitely everyone agrees should be in here, and these things, oh, that's a really good idea, I didn't do it.
So you're gonna send the,
Yeah, I'll send all the survey results.
And you don't
Okay.
want us to press any buttons.
Right.
Yeah, so,
Just
so,
look, don't
so,
touch.
so Matt's gonna send out a copy of the results that are, I guess, just the
The raw results.
yeah, the raw results.
Okay,
And
that's after we get confirmation from Kathy.
Once we get all those results in there,
Cool, right.
and maybe they're already in, we don't know.
And if she does need help with input, Josh and
Josh is
I
gonna do it,
are volunteer to get it
Yeah.
done. So.
Yeah.
Because we didn't
Okay. So I guess that's it. Should we adjourn?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's
we'll-
hang out.
How's the headache for the EDIC?
All right, you stop it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Sorry for being so argumentative with you, Josh.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, I think
You're still
I think we